Hi, this is Francis from Easel. Today we're going to be talking through a troubleshooting thing that we see a lot in technical support, and that's uncut areas. Basically, when you have a bit that's too large and a design or text that's too small, Easel will only simulate the parts of that design or text that can be carved with the bit that you have. Anything else is what we would call an uncut area and won't be carved. And the easiest way to visualize that is if you look here on the left, you can see text and it looks clear, it looks very clean because that's the design that I have. And then over here on the right, in my 3D preview, we can see that a lot of the design is missing, and that's indicative of the bit being too large and the text being too small. Another way to visualize that is I can go down here and click on these three dots. I'll get a menu that pops up, and right here at the bottom, if I check uncut areas, that's going to show that there are parts of this that aren't being cut, and that'll visualize in red here. So the cross and the T, all of the parts coming off of the E, and then parts of the X are all not being simulated. And so I can see then and visualize then that there are parts that aren't being carved. I find that for most points, the 3D preview is going to give you a pretty good idea of what you're missing. But if you're doing something large, you might have smaller portions that are uncut, and that's where this menu comes in handy for visualizing that. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about how to fix uncut areas. There's really two ways to do it. One is to reduce the size of your bit. So currently I have a 1/4 inch bit. If I move down to an 1/8 inch bit, we can see that now my 3D preview has updated to show that the bit that I'm using can carve all of the text that I have. If we go ahead and click on uncut areas, we can still see that there's a little bit of red in the corners, and that's just the size of the bit and the kind of smallness of the corners makes it so that they're uncut. So if I go ahead and reduce this down one more time to a 1/16 inch, we still get those uncut areas in the corners, but they're a lot less now. The other option is, we'll go back to using a 1/4 inch bit here. The other option is to use or to increase the size of either the design or the text. So if I take the text here and kind of grab it and pull it up, now it should carve without any issue. I should be able to carve it without any issue. I reduce the size some more, down, still going to be able to carve it without any issue. We're still going to see the uncut areas in the corners. We'd have to increase it pretty large for that to disappear. But for the most part, we can get our text back by increasing the size. So it's just something you'll have to play with a little bit to find what's going to work best for you. But that's what uncut areas is and how to fix it. Have a wonderful day.
To learn more, head over to easel.com.